and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kristen. On today's video, we're going to talk about two different fragrances from two different houses. So today it is the battle of the LVMH houses. I'm going to compare two fragrances that I never thought I would compare. Quite frankly, I think both of these are very unique and very different in their own individual light. And I just thought these two focus on the same notes, so sandalwood and rose. That's what their primary notes are. They're both LVMH houses. One's from Guerlain and one's from Christian Dior. And they're both part of the luxury or private or art or privé collections of these two houses. So let's get into it. Let's see what these two fragrances have to offer and let's see which one is better for you. Being a sandalwood lover, I have to say that both of these fragrances instantly caught my attention. I was just sold from the moment I saw them because I love Guerlain, but I love Dior even more. I have history with Dior. Obviously, I worked for the house and it carries some of the best memories in my life working for the house of Dior. But I also really do love Guerlain, and I love their quality and their know-how and their attention to detail when it comes to perfume making. And they're one of the best. I think, quite frankly, I think they are the best. I just think they're not really given that credit. But I have here today Santal Pao Rosa, which is right here. I will try to show you. It might not show because of the green screen here. This is what the bottle looks like. Et voila. And I also have here Santal Noir by Christian Dior, which is right here. It may not show up, it's not focusing obviously, but both of these fragrances, like I said, are part of their private collections. Let's compare price point really quickly though, because Dior did just change their sizing. They used to offer 4.5 ounce bottles, and I believe it was 8.2 or 8.4 ounce bottles. They reduced those to 100 mils and 200 mils, so now they're going to be 3.4 ounces and 6.8 ounces. The small one, which is going to be 100 mils, is going to retail for $330 US, and the large, which is going to be 6.8 ounces or 200 mils, is going to retail for $450 US. Now, Santal Noir is back on the Dior website. It was not available for a long time on their website. It was never discontinued. By the way, it was available at select Dior boutiques. Well, I believe it was available at all Dior boutiques, but select retailers. And then we have here the prices of Guerlain. And I have to say, quite elevated on cost, but their prices are 100 mils, which is 3.4 fluid ounces, for $425 US. So that is a lot of moolah. That is a lot of money compared to the Dior one. They do also offer a 200 mil size, which is going to be their large, which is going to be 6.8 ounces for $595 US. Might as well just round it up to 600 because that's really what it cost. So yes, there is a price gap here between these two fragrances, and I do have here, like I said, the 200 ml size bottle of the Guerlain one, and I do have what used to be the large, which is going to be 8.4 fluid ounces for this one. So there is a price difference here, but you have to understand where it's coming from, because Guerlain, unlike any other house, actually works very, very closely to their distributors. So for example, the sandalwood used in Santal Pao Rosa is from Australia and it's sustainably sourced, so there is some merit to their madness. Is it $400 or $600 worth? I don't know about that. We'll get into it. Starting off with the Guerlain Santal Pao Rosa. Their notes are going to be sandalwood, oud, rose, myrrh, cardamom, fig, and hazelnut. So we get quite a bit of different elements here. We get a fig that really wouldn't ever go with an oud, but you know, they have it here mixed with an oud, which is a fruity element mixed with a woody element. We have some rose, obviously that is a primary note in this fragrance, and obviously the sandalwood is as well. We get some myrrh, which is going to add that smoky quality, some cardamom, and some hazelnut for some contrast. So overall, this fragrance is just really well put together. It is a little raw. What I mean by that is the sandalwood in this fragrance is a raw sandalwood. It's not going to be really, really polished and creamy or synthetic like. It's going to be a raw sandalwood, like if you were to smell it straight from the woody source. And that's what makes this fragrance beautiful. It grabs the raw elements and it really grabs the delicate elements like the rose and mixes them together, smashes them together. It gives you this really great fragrance with a lot of depth, a lot of character, a lot of grit as well, but a lot of nuances that create this magnificent artsy type of fragrance. Now, because it is artsy, it may not appeal to everyone. Just keep that into consideration. It is a fragrance that you really have to know about perfumery or get your nose trained to really appreciate the different facets that this fragrance does offer. Now with Dior's Santal Noir, the fragrance offers you sandalwood, ambrette, and Turkish rose. Now, Turkish rose is a very unique fragrance note in my opinion, because it's obviously rosy, but it has this sweet like quality, kind of like a honeysuckle type of smell inside of the rose smell. So that's a beautiful thing about Turkish rose. It's very unique to almost any other rose note out there. And because of that, this fragrance does have a warmth to it. It's a warm, rosy sandalwood fragrance with ambrette in it as well. So fragrance really ties back to the heritage of Christian Dior. And what I mean by that, it grabs the element of rose, a love of Mr. Dior with flowers obviously, and couture, and just romance and overall. So this fragrance literally transports me. I could close my eyes and smell this and literally picture myself inside of the salons seeing the new look come down the Dior salons. And I think that's what makes this fragrance so unique. It's a fragrance that's kind of dying out for the house of Dior, because Dior is obviously now more going for the mass appealing fragrances, the ones that are going to sell a lot, the ones that are a little bit more simplistic, a little bit more minimal, a little bit more modern. And because of that, this fragrance is a dying breed altogether. But the fragrance is rich, sophisticated, elegant. It's like smelling haute couture. If you could picture the Dior dresses, those big flouncy skirts, beautiful rose petal appliques onto the dresses, this is what that would smell like. And I really do believe that, because it does give you that essence. Now, which one is better? That is up to you to decide. Guerlain has been around for such a long time. They are a big perfume house. They have been very innovative when it comes to perfume making, using some of the best notes, some of the best methods to create fragrance, and to create fragrance in a very unique way. But they are also tying back their heritage. So they are grabbing modern elements and they're grabbing traditional elements and putting them into a bottle. And I think that's the whole purpose of this fragrance itself. Because of that, you're going to get, like I said, the raw elements, that grit, but you're also going to get the delicate, the haute couture, if you will, the very high end of perfume making, all mixed within one bottle, giving you lots of depth, lots of character, lots of refinement as well. But it's in harmony. It's the yin and the yang, the perfect and the imperfect mixed into one. And because of that, obviously the fragrance shines. Meanwhile, the Christian Dior fragrance is going to be very much reminiscent of the Dior house, and because of that, I do love it as well. Now, both of them have great longevity and great performance. I will say that Dior does have better longevity than Santal Pao Rosa, just in my experience itself, because it does have that Turkish rose that really holds on to you. It's really warm, and this fragrance can last. I have sprayed sweaters, let's just say, or a shirt, and I can still smell it 2 weeks later, and it still projects as well. So it's quite an impressive fragrance. Now, this is not, I don't know, this may not be representative of the newer formulations, obviously, but my formulation, I believe, is a 2024 edition, 2023 edition maybe. And I do have to say that it does wear fantastic. Santal Pao Rosa is also very good. It doesn't last that long because I do use a natural sandalwood and quite a bit of natural ingredients in this fragrance itself. Obviously, because of that, it's going to kind of be a little bit less long wearing, unfortunately, but it's not bad. Anywhere from 7 to 9 hours, which is still pretty good. To be completely frank, I would probably pick Santal Pao Rosa because it's artsy. I know if you're not into fragrance and you go into the store and smell this fragrance, you may just think, kind of basic, but you really have to smell it and try it and really get to know every single ingredient and how they're playing with each other. And I think that's what makes this fragrance unique. But I mean, let's just be real. I would probably get both, and I probably wouldn't get rid of either one even if I had to. So I don't know. What do you think? Let me know down below in the comments. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe for more fragrance related content. Until next time, take care.